Okay, so we're going to review graphing inequalities. First one I'm going to do is I'm going to do a linear system, so it means two lines. So let's do y is greater than negative 2/3 x plus 4, and y is less than or equal to 2x minus 1. Okay? So this should be fairly fast. So let me graph the first one. So let me put an xy axis on here. And there we go. Alright, so let's graph the first line. To graph a line, remember you need the slope and its y-intercept. So the first one, my y-intercept is at 4, so I'm going to put a dot at 4. And my slope is negative 2/3, so I'm going to go down to 2/3. Down 2/3. Okay. Connect them. Oh, my line's having issues. Hold on, let me go back. Okay, so there's my line. Now you might say, well, wait a second. We need to do something to it. Because if we look at our symbol right here, that symbol tells me it's supposed to be dashed. So I need to erase part of it. So I'm going to erase part of it. Okay. And what that means is that those points that I started with, those original dots, they're not actually solutions. They will not work in the equation. Alright, so now let's go to our second equation. And let's graph that one. So we're going to start at negative 1. And I'm going to go up 2/1, up 2/1. Okay, and so I have that line. This one is solid because it has this symbol. Remember, easy way to remember is if it's got the bar underneath it, means it can be equal. So it means that these points that I started with will work in the equation. So now we're not done yet. We need to determine the shading. And that's the important thing because that shows us where all our solutions are. And the way we're going to determine the shading is we're going to use 0, 0. Because 0, 0 is not on either one of the lines. But it's an easy number to work with. So I'm going to take my first equation. Y equals negative 2/3 x plus 4. And I am going to substitute 0 in for the y and 0 in. Why did I write a 2, a 3 there? And 0 in for the x. And once I simplify it, I say 0 is greater than 4. Was that true? No, it's not true. It's not true. It's false. So what that means is when I go to shade my red line, I don't want to shade over 0, 0. So here's my red line. You can kind of see it here. Oops. Mm, 0, 0 is below it, so I actually want to go above it. So I'm going to go above it. Because that means that all these points up here are working. Because I'm basically running away from that 0, 0. Now I need to do the same for my other equation. And that one is y is less than or equal to 2x minus 1. Again, use 0, 0. It's an easy one to work with. Is 0 less than or equal to 2 times 0 minus 1? Is 0 less than or equal to negative 1? No, that one's bad too. So I need to run away from 0, 0 on my blue line. Well, on my blue line, that means I'm going to move to the right. I'm going to go over here. Now, nice thing about this is you can see where the two colors overlap. And that's where I want to shade it darker, because that's the important section. Right here. All of this right here, and I got to be careful not to go over the lines. Oh, that was a bad. There we go. Let's do it again. That's the solutions for both equations. Everything in that section I just darkened will work in both equations. They're solutions. And that's what you need to do. We only care about the solutions that work with both equations. Okay, so now let's go on and let's do one this time involving a parabola. Okay, so I'm going to start with my xy axis. And so let's write our equation. So let's do y is greater than x squared minus x minus 2. Okay, so let's graph our parabola. You can make a table, or you can graph it using, actually, you know what, I'm going to change this equation. I'm sorry about that. So let's make it a little bit easier. So let's say minus 2x minus 4. No, that one doesn't. There, that's what I need. Sorry about that. Alright, so let's graph it. So for my x-intercepts, 0, you're going to put 0 in for y. And we're going to factor it. And that's going to be x minus 3, x plus 1. I am not going to take the time to show you the diamond problem stuff, because this is way past Unit 8. So x is going to be equal to 3 and negative 1. So I'm going to put points at negative 3, 0, or excuse me, 3, 0, and negative 1, 0. My y-intercept, I put 0 in for x, and I get y equals 0 squared minus 2 times 0 minus 3, and so y equals negative 3. So I'm going to put points there. Now find my vertex. Now again, vertex is found by using your x-intercepts to find the point in the middle. So for the vertex, x equals 3 plus negative 1 divided by 2, and that's 2 divided by 2, which is 1. And then substitute it back into the equation, so y equals 1 squared minus 2 times 1 minus 3. 1 minus 2 minus 3 is negative 4. So my vertex is at 1, negative 4. Okay, plot it. Do our mirror point. Now we can sketch our parabola. Now looking at our parabola, we need to decide if it's solid or dashed. And if, again, look at that equation right there, that's a less than or a greater than sign, so it's dashed. Okay. Now, I forgot to give you guys the other equation. I am sorry about that. Let's graph y is less than x plus 2. That'll be easy. All right. So, let's graph this line. Make that one red. So x plus 2, we're going to start at 2. And we're going to go up 1 over 1. Again, we're going to make a line. And again, this one's dashed. So I need to cut out parts of it. Okay? Now we need to do our test point to see where our shading is. So for our shading, again, we can use 0, 0 because our equation doesn't go through it. So I'm going to put 0 is greater than 0 squared minus 2 times 0 minus 3. Is 0 greater than negative 3? Yes, it is. So this one's true, so that means we need to include 0. Well, the 0, 0 is on the inside of my parabola. So I'm going to shade on the inside. Okay. Now for my line, same thing. I'm going to put 0 in. Sorry about that. 0 in for x and y. 0 is less than 0 plus 2. Is 0 less than 2? Yes, it is. So again, this one works. Oh, wrong face. Happy face. So that means I need to go towards 0, 0. So if I look at my overlap, it's in this section right here. And so that's where my solutions are. Okay? So I've graphed two systems of inequalities. Make sure you answer all the questions and then come back with any questions you might have for Miss Pena or myself.